All right. Good morning. It's been a week since I did my last video, my last vlog about how I was getting back into weightlifting and what my goals were and what my motivation was. And since then, I've been to the gym every morning, doing my workouts, doing my split, and training hard. But there are a couple updates, some fun, like I got a new crock pot and I've been cooking out of it. I did a recipe. I did some pulled pork out of that one. I did some pulled pork in that crock pot and it turned out pretty good. And also I've been doing a little bit of research into what it's like preparing for a show, preparing for a bodybuilding show. I've been doing some research into the different organizations, and I've been watching YouTube videos and reading articles about what you're getting yourself into when you're thinking about cutting on that fat in order to be competition ready if you're doing a bodybuilding show. So the two organizations that I've been reading about are the WNBF, and it seems like the WNBF has a few events up here in New England that are nearby. And the other one is the OCB, the Organization of Competition Bodies. I probably got that wrong, so I'll need to check that out. But what I've been learning is that when you prepare for a competition and when you cut all that fat, it is very taxing. So if you remember from my last video, I was talking about how I was motivated to take this body as far as it'll go when it comes to developing it for that aesthetic look and doing my best to be competitive if I ever got on a stage for a bodybuilding competition. But my limit or my boundary was so long as it wasn't detrimental to my health. And another thing that went unsaid was my career as well, and also my relationships. I do think I mentioned that if it was detrimental towards my relationships, it was something that I didn't want to do. So I was looking into it, and it seems like when you cut down to that level of body fat percentage, when you're committing that much time into being competition ready or being stage ready for a bodybuilding show, when you're doing a prep like that, it does seem like you are putting certain things at risk. It becomes a very difficult ask or a very difficult task to go about your daily responsibilities, not mess up your relationships, not mess up your work, and not mess up your health as well when you're trying to cut down to below 8% body fat. My job is pretty hard. I'm a software engineer, and I am also trying to get better in that aspect of my life as well. So I do have some other goals there that are unrelated to fitness. And I don't want my fitness goals to get in the way of my career goals. So I'm also trying to keep my priorities straight. I don't think I'm going to be a pro bodybuilder. My job is a very good job, and I'm like super blessed to have it, and I wouldn't want to do anything to mess that up. So my job is definitely my primary focus, after which is my health probably, and on par with that are my relationships. So me making sure that I'm not a jerk to my friends, to the very few friends I have, is important to me. So I was thinking about, well, what can I do to still kind of reach the next level when it comes to fitness? And I thought of a couple things. So I think after doing a little bit of research, I want to keep my body weight or my body fat between, let's say, 12% and 17%. So doing a little bit of research out there, it seems like once you get below 12% body fat, it becomes harder to put on muscle, and you put yourself into almost this permacut. You're always dieting, you're always restricting calories, and you're always cutting. So it becomes harder to put on muscle, and it becomes really restrictive and hard to maintain, and it becomes hard to go out with friends or even have meals every now and then where you don't pay as much attention to what their caloric content is. Above 17% body fat, I just feel a little soft, and I don't want to be soft. I want to look good kind of year round at all times. So yeah, you know, we live in this age of social media where you have these influencers who are always posting pictures of themselves and they're always shredded. Um, that's so I realized how that has influenced me, I guess. But I still want to be I still want to look good without a shirt on year round, whether it's winter and it's 10 degrees outside or whether it's summer and it's 80 degrees outside. So what I want to do is stay between 12 and 17 percent body fat for the year. And I think what that'll do for me is it'll give me an opportunity to continue to build muscle for the year and continue to do a little bit of research into what it would be like to do a bodybuilding competition. I don't think I'm gonna do like a bodybuilding competition because you have to cut down to a certain level of body fat. What I might end up doing is competing in physique, because physique, I think you do end up closer to that 12% body fat number. Whereas when you're talking bodybuilding, there are different judging criteria that the judges go by to assess like whether you should get the, you know, first place or not. For bodybuilding, what that usually means is you want to show up on stage looking shredded, looking like a corpse. So as little body fat as possible, like none if possible. And that is very taxing on your health and very taxing on the other aspects of your life. And the way my priorities are set up right now, I can't afford that, if I'm just being open and honest about that. I still haven't put together a real program. So I haven't put together a 12-week program with mesocycles, maybe with like I don't know if I think there's like a linear progression, then there's like inverse linear progression. I've got this book called The Encyclopedia of Muscle and I believe Strength by Jim Stepani that I read, and it talks a little bit about programming and stuff like this. I never read Starting Strength, but I have seen a couple of like RP Strengths videos that talk about these topics. And you know, just being on fitness YouTube and reading every now and then, and bodybuilding.com, you pick up some of these topics. But I don't have any certifications. I haven't worked with a coach officially or worked with any trainers. So I've put together like small programs, but I've never put together like a 12-week program with different phases and deloading and like goals for each part of the program, with specific goals for each part of the program. And I think I want to do that. So I want to put together a program, and I want to take time to learn how to do that well. And also, I want to still focus on other aspects of fitness. So in my last video, I said I was just going for the look. And yeah, that's true. But after taking a step back, I do realize that I don't put the look or aesthetics above everything else. So after high school football, when I was in college, I did want to look good, but I also enjoyed fitness because I felt like I was like training for the zombie apocalypse, or like making myself the best man I possibly could be as far as fitness, because I was focusing on all three aspects of fitness as I was taught, which are not only strength, and there are different types of strength, but strength, to simplify it, cardiovascular endurance and cardiovascular performance. Basically, you know, how efficient is your heart and your cardiovascular system at transporting blood and oxygen through your body. So that gets into your VO2 max and you know, what your stamina is like and everything. So strength in its different forms, endurance, cardiovascular endurance, etc. Cardiovascular health, we'll call it that. And then the last one was flexibility, which I think there might be some technical differences between that and mobility. But flexibility, which, good God, has been has been a lifesaver for me. Today I'm about to do heavy chest when I go into the gym, and I was a little bit scared because I just saw this video last night for the first time of this guy doing like a total pec tear where the where the tendon came all the way off the bone, and it was just like, oh my God, killed me. I think his name was like Ryan Crowley or something. And I was just like, woo, shit, like, woo, shit. That was one of the nastiest things I've ever seen, and my arm still hurts just from watching it. So while editing the video, I just wanted to interrupt real quick to make one quick point about safety. Doing 1 rep maxes isn't always the smartest or best thing to do. It's a good way to get injured. I got away with it doing it this last session that I did at the gym, but you know, it's really not something that you should do very often. What's preferable is do weight that you can actually do and work up incrementally from there. It should be very seldom that you do 1 rep maxes. So I wanna take a year to basically learn how to put a good program together, figure out what I want to do as far as if I want to take some time to try to compete in a physique competition, because it doesn't look like I'm going to be doing a bodybuilding competition, because it would be risky towards the other things that I value in my life right now, and figuring out how to train so that I can build a useful and good looking body over time. So I do want to be strong, not only just puffed up. I also learned about myofibrillar and sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, which isn't really something that I knew all too much about. So I learned about that for the first time, and I've been working out for like a long time. And I learned about that for the first time, and I was like, huh. Yeah, so that's been my week. Got a crock pot. Reevaluated whether or not I'm going to do this bodybuilding thing, because, you know, I value other stuff in my life and I can't put those at risk. Gonna see if I can write a good program that'll target those 3 aspects of fitness: flexibility, strength, and cardiovascular endurance. And playing around with some Olympic lifts. So yeah, that's my update. Thanks for watching. I will post another video next week, and until then.